So we are going to turn that into a painting booth. So let's get started. All right, what's going on, everybody? So today I have decided that we're going to make this into a painting booth. So I bought this for $2.89, I guess, at Target. And yeah, the receipt's even still in there. And then I also picked up a couple different paints since, if you guys have been following me on Instagram, my, Alright, so the furnace turned on, so I figured I would wait until the furnace was done. While I did that, I got some other things. So as I was saying, I did a weathering job on a Chevy C30, but I lifted it, so it's a K30 now. Tow truck, and I had just gone into, my wife's got some of these acrylic paints that she uses for my kids' craft projects, and I just stole myself about, I don't know, quarter of a cup of paint, mixed up a thing, and ended up coming up with this. You guys can see here, this weather job. You guys want to see more photos of it until I release a review video of that, and it'll be on my Instagram. So I went to Target, I picked this box up, I picked these up. These are going to be used, I'll mix these together to make different kinds of paint colors for weathering. Alright, let me get these put to the side, and we can start working on our thing. Alright, so my main thought with this is I want something, because I used this last night, this bin here, but my problem is when it lays on its side and it has this lip here, it actually sits, well, here, we got cover out of the way, it actually sits tilted back, so the items that you're working on, if they roll, they'll roll back or slide back, and I didn't like that idea. So I decided I wanted something that was a little bit deeper and a little bit wider, but I can also put a cover on it, which is this, and I have a spot set up on my shelf, which I'll show you guys at the end, where I can turn a light on, and it shines light down here because I was painting earlier over on the other side of the basement, and it was kind of it was hard to see what I was doing and stuff, so I decided that it's best to do this. So what I'm thinking with this is I want to be able to place a truck in here. We'll use this F350 frame. So it's going to sit something like that when I'm painting it. So I want to make sure that my mark comes down to the edge here. So probably it kind of curves down, so there's a radius here. So I kind of want to go to like right there. Now I'm using an Expo marker so I can just wipe off my marks when I'm done. So something right about there. Now height wise, I think something up in like this range is going to be good. And width wise, I think something in about this range here and here is going to be good. So that'll give me kind of a perimeter. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure down from the top about where this is, and I'll mark those spots out here and out here. So that's going to be, let's see, so that's about, we're just going to go 4 inches for easy sake. So right at about 4 inches, we'll mark it. Come over here, we'll go about 4 inches, and we'll mark it. And we'll go about 4 inches, and we'll mark it. All right, so now my next thing to do is I'm going to grab my level, wherever that, oh, that's over here, wherever that may lie. Let me grab that real quick. I just want to make sure here that as I draw this in, this is going to remain level, somewhat level. So something like that. And like that, because I don't really have a square. And then if far as this goes here, it's probably an easier way to do this, but that's probably pretty good. All right, that is just a quick rough mock-up. Now what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to lay blue painter's tape down along my edges and just double check my marks. So let me do that real quick and then I'll come right back. All right, so we're gonna come back with something like that. Now again, this is a paint booth. This is not a model. So it does not really matter if these edges are completely lined up. Just get it as close as you can. I don't necessarily care because again, in about 2 projects, this whole thing's gonna be covered in paint anyhow. So it doesn't really matter. So next, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna cut this out. This is pretty thin material. I might be able to do it with my X-Acto knife, which you can use, or you can use a Dremel. I'm going to try the X-Acto knife first and just see what I can get. If that doesn't work, then I'll pop the blade into the Dremel and we'll cut it that way. So let me play with this and I'll tune back to you. Alright, so now I have my hole cut out here. I used a Dremel. Dremel wasn't a huge fan of this, so you can take this off now. Okay, and then now you want to just kind of go through and clean these edges up the best you can. You come through with a X-Acto knife, trim them up, your fingers. So what I usually do is I come through here and I just pull out what I can get out by hand. So like this. And like I said, that's why you use the dry erase marker, because then you can just kind of take all that off. And I'll come through with this. And we'll just kind of go along those edges there and just kind of clean them up real nice. You can also use sandpaper if you have it. I currently do not have any. All that got used up when I moved. So anyhow, that's what that looks like. You just kind of clean that up. You know, you want to kind of get rid of the rough edges there, because if you don't want to be sticking your finger in there and cutting yourself or whatever. Even if you have kids like I do and your kids like to work on your projects with you, you don't want them sticking their fingers in there and getting hurt on the rough edge. And yeah, you shouldn't go towards yourself with the knife either, because that's you slip and cut yourself. That's dangerous too. Alright, so I think that is pretty good. Go a little bit more on the inside here. Okay, perfect. So that is good. So there, now you have pretty much made, about as easy as it gets, a painting booth. So now, so this will sit, stuff will sit in here, this cover will go on, and then you can paint stuff. And even for better, sturdier painting, I'm actually going to do it now just to get some stuff out of my toolbox. You get yourselves one of these, which is, you put these little pins in here. These little alligator clips go in this. This is basically here. Put your alligator clips in here, and yeah, it's black now because the last thing I painted on it was black. But these go in here. And this is going to be kind of the ultimate test here, because I want to make sure that now, before I start going on with this, that this will fit in here. So if I do alligator clips, right, and let's say I want to paint this, right? Not saying I am, but so I want to paint it. So we'll clip it on here. So do one on the, that one's glued shut. There we go. So we'll do one on the front rivet, and then this one's got the back glass in it, so, but, you know, one on this rivet here maybe, something like that. So if we place those in there like that, if I did it right, I should be able to pick this up and place this in here just like that without any issue, which I have done, and I should be able to reach in here and remove it without any issue, and I should be able to, without moving it, reach in here and be able to turn things around to spray stuff pretty easily, which is exactly what I'm able to do. Alright, so now we got it set in place. Up under here, I have this magnetic light. So that just sits right up under here, and it's rechargeable. And I can turn that on, and that lightens this up for me. So with that being said, I already did some spray shots with this F550 body that a friend of mine gave me, just for the purpose of this video, in case this completely failed, it wouldn't be on video. So we get that thrown in there, and let's just say we already primed it, we might as well throw a color on it, right? Let's see what ugly color we can do today. I think we'll do some military green. Alright, so just give this a quick spray there. There's that furnace again, and that's how it's done. So there you go. Obviously I want to set this back further because it's starting to get some paint down here on the bottom, and yeah, I think that'll wrap this video up. I'm not going to wait for the furnace to continue shutting off because it's 9:30 at night and I want to get to bed. So thanks you guys so much for tuning in on this video. Hope you find this helpful. With less than $3 and a little bit of you know, time, you can make yourself one of these as well. Obviously this I'm going to probably just push way back, because if you can see here, I got a little bit of overspray here on the shelf, which I don't care so much about, but I think I'll push that back. And I also think maybe on the back side I'll put one of those computer exhaust fans on it, and then that way it'll suck the power out. I'll see if I can get like a battery powered fan or something that can suck the fumes out. So, alright guys, again, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well. That's where you get the most updated videos of stuff that I am doing, like that Chevy record I showed you guys earlier. A lot of this stuff, even though it's filmed and then directly uploaded, there's other projects that are kind of behind the scenes that I don't show. So, alright guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.